my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! That's a perfect bear! That's a perfect bear! Oh my gosh, dude! Oh my gosh! Bro, are you serious? Are you serious? Oh my gosh, dude! Oh my god, dude! I cannot believe that this happened to me! I cannot believe that this happened to me!
What's up, dudes? Welcome back to the DGS. This is your host, the Evil Pickle, and today we are talking about Bossman Jack. And Bossman Jack is finally back. As you've seen on our latest video, Austin here finally regained his right to contact the internet. He has been online on his Discord server on his allowed time on the rehab computer. So today, let's go over what he has said over the last 48 hours, as well as the stream that he managed to give us last night. But first, don't forget to like and subscribe, because we just want our degenerate society to grow.
Shut the fuck up, pussy.
So Boss started the day with yet another junkie that he wants to flex on and show how many weirdos he has on his server. Said weirdos always oblige, always all too eager to validate Bossman's delusions. The poor guy actually thinks he has real fans and that these aren't just rats pretending to like him. One would ask Boss when did he become this friendly, to which he'd respond that it happened since he's been sober. No one would ever believe this. A rat would also point out that he saw Bossman messing with the stage in his Discord server and that this would foreshadow a Discord stream to come. Again, Boss would shout out another crackhead in his Discord, to the delight of the rats yet again. With Bossman, of course, thinking it's super dope to have an army of weirdos at his command. He'd also say that he hasn't gotten to his DMs yet, as his PC time has been super limited that day. Yet another junkie would hit the Bossman Jack server, as this time his boy Cuck, I don't know, that's right, Cuck, who's also, quote, cool as a bitch, would have his turn to see Bossman's Discord weirdos. Classic Bossman would show himself, right here, when he said that he had some dice to play, which one can only assume didn't go as he expected it, because right after he'd ping everyone asking for a loan. Truly, old classic Boss never left. He's still grifting money out of people with quick loans that he'll probably never pay back. And with regards to his affiliate bucks that he has been accumulating since being sent to jail, he has said that he can't access these funds just yet, which makes sense as he still doesn't have access to his phone. But that might change soon. A rap will point out and ask if Boss would actually pay back said loan, to which Boss would reply that yes, he would, and that this loan wasn't for drugs. Is he implying that when he gets a loan for drugs, that he doesn't have to pay it back?
Shut the fuck up, pussy.
Eventually, he'd say that the money was for cigs and gamba, as if that was any better than just straight up buying drugs. He'd voice his frustrations of not being able to secure a loan. One can imagine that a lot of rats will just be trolling Bossman pretending to give him a loan, only to then retract it, or just straight up ignoring him. He'd had that he didn't have much time left at the rehab computer, and then once he's back, he's gonna be streaming a lot of video games to the delight of nobody. Those streams are always boring as hell.
You'll see, dude, you'll see. I'm definitely getting a car this time. I'm not gonna f this up.
Some sort of clarity must have made its way into Boss's brain as he warned everyone in the server that they should enjoy their time and that all the shit talkers will be banned soon, and that he doesn't care about what people say about him. Which is a lie, by the way. He is very insecure and always cares about what other people say or think of him. It's actually a very common thing with the locals especially.
I swear, guys, I swear that I'm fucking...
Here it'd say that he can't stream his Gamba sessions, but as you might have seen from the title of this video, that will soon change. He'd log off, but he'd be back around 12 hours later, with once again, a shout out to another junkie at the rehab, this time being Danny. Boss would mention the conditions of the rehab when being asked about it by a Discord user, saying that they treat him nice and that it's awesome, with super comfy beds and good food, etc. It would then be Carlos' turn to be flexed on. Boss would be asked how he's feeling, to which he'd respond that he's doing good, and that he has groups/class at 9 AM, so he had another hour to chill on the rehab PC. He'd also mentioned that during the week, the rehab keeps everyone quite busy, letting everyone chill during the weekends. And finally, Boss would elaborate more on his living situation after leaving the rehab, stating again that he will have his own crib with a new stream room that he has to decorate. By decorating, does he mean putting holes in the walls?
Literally!
I, and every one of us, certainly hope so. He'll assert that he will indeed have his own place, not just a room in someone else's house, nor in a halfway house. it will be his very own place, and he'll be living alone in it. And Brooke would be seen again. Boss must be really getting her juices going, but all the flexing he's doing with his server of weirdos. But actually, apparently this was a different Brooke, not the same one we saw the day before. Of course, Boss's community would not disappoint with showing their weirdness when interacting with anyone related to Bossman. He would then use Brooke as leverage to get someone to donate money to him. This really shows us how Boss hasn't changed one bit, and that's probably for the best too. But finally, this time it actually worked. Drake here actually juiced Boss with $20, only for Boss to lose it just as quickly. I'm sure that Brooke was absolutely impressed to see how fast Boss can burn money. This Drake guy would also say something absolutely crazy and unprompted out of the blue that even Bossman was weirded out himself. We then see that Bossman seems to be more lenient when it comes to banning people. How long that's gonna last is yet to be seen. I'm sure it won't be long until he starts banning people over the slightest thing. Felicia would be the next one on the line to be flexed on, and some rats would voice their discontent with being pinged over such frivolities. And yet again he tried the same tactic, using Felicia as a leverage to get himself a donation for Gamba, but before anyone could respond to it, he then shout out Cleveland. To which someone would respond, "Yo, does Cleveland have a fatty?" By the way, Bossman just said Cleveland was a dude. He didn't deny that he had a fatty. But nothing else would happen. He didn't get a juicer, and he just logged off. Later that day, it being the 20th of January 2026, he'd be back, pinging everyone, once again. The rats would love it, replying to Boss and whatnot, but unfortunately for him and everyone, he had to get off the computer. By who, no one knows, he didn't say, but he'd leave with this phrase which gives us all too classic Bossman Jack vibes. Quote, "I hate my life."
I fucking hate my life, dude. I fucking hate my life, dude. I fucking hate my life, bro. I fucking hate my life, dude.
But he'd be back an hour and a half later, pinging everyone and asking for money to gamble with. He'd say again that he'd pay back every penny to the people he owes money to, and that it will all be paid in 3 weeks once he gets his affiliate bucks. Which means one thing, he's getting his phone back in 3 weeks. Is that his 2FA method to get into his casino accounts? Now the question is he actually gonna use that money to pay people back as soon as he gets it? Or is he gonna try to gamble that and lose it all? I think we all know what the answer to that is. The night wouldn't be complete without Bossman flexing his server to another junkie. This time being Dakota, as apparently she was having a bad day, and Boss wanted to cheer her up. What a nice guy. Then it would be Philip's turn to be shouted out, then we'd be gone again for an hour. During which, some rats were discussing things with each other, one of which declared that everyone in Bossman's server is indeed a rat just pretending to be a fan. To which Bossman would show up and reply to this, prompting a barrage of fives in the general from all the rats that just love validating Austin's delusions. He would then point out that he's cleaned, that meaning that he's broke, doesn't have any money, hoping that maybe a rat would volunteer to give him a juicer. Someone would mention Turkey Tom and his recently exposed freakish ways, to which Boss would just laugh about. If you'll remember, Diaper Tom made a 5-hour slop fest of an excuse of a video about Bossman Jack. We do not recommend you go watch it. It's not up to par with the standards set by the rat community, and we at the DGS expect way better quality than that. Austin would then say that the only hate that phases him is when he's high, which is a blatant lie, as Boss has plenty of times crashed out on people and viewers, even while sober. But then, Boss would start teasing the general with something. That something being a Gamba stream. Though we wouldn't be able to be on cam nor talk on the microphone, but us rats being so deprived of Boss content, we'd more than happily enjoy a silent stream from the Bossman. He also did warn it was probably going to be of bad quality, then he'd talk about the food at the rehab again. $20 would be all it would take for Boss to fire up a stream, which he presumably got, or not, but just then he had to log off. Some of us were suspicious, thinking he maybe had just scammed that person, whoever donated. But Boss did say that he had a meeting to go to that he had forgotten about. The suspicions would be proven false, however, as an hour later he'd be back with Kevin. And if 20 people run in the Discord, "What's up, Kevin?" then Boss would finally go live. But right after, he'd ask for $20 again, so we assumed that the previous person who pledged to donate was just trolling. But the $20 would finally arrive. 10 minutes later, he would fire up a Discord stage stream, and he'd go live. And we'd all find out that Boss can't stream on Discord at the rehab. For whatever reason, it just wouldn't let Boss share his screen so that we could see his gamma sesh. He'd then try a YouTube account that he could access, but that one needed to be verified before being able to host any live streams. We would post a link to this account, which would quickly gain 150 subs as soon as he dropped the link. Boss would then confirm again that he is indeed getting his phone in 3 weeks, saying that he's getting his affiliate bucks soon. Austin would then scan for other options to stream on, from Instagram to Zoom. The thing is, his options are limited by the fact that he can't install any programs on those rehab computers. And he, of course, had to shout out yet another druggie, this time being Emil. And finally, Boss would settle on an option that would work: Microsoft Teams. Then Ashley would have her turn to be flexed on in the stage chat, to which Boss definitely didn't make it awkward by saying something like, "I'll be right back, she said let's go upstairs, dude." And finally, the Microsoft Teams meeting would go through, and he would be blessed with this stream. He'd lose it all super quickly. And as Bossman put it himself, classic Bossman, am I right? And he'd agree that it's good to have self-awareness. How long this self-awareness will last is the question. But then, he'd get rejuiced, and he'd have another go on dice. Let's see how that went. So he'd actually stop while being up and he'd get off the call. People thought for smoking a cigarette, but he'd say then that he's logging off for the night. So that is it for the recent Bossman Jack news. Make sure your notifications are turned on so that you don't miss our next uploads. Thank you again for watching, and until next time, see ya.